You think you know the story? The flashy reality TV couple, the perfect smiles, the cameras capturing their every move. But beneath the red carpet glamour, something dark was building. Hidden whispers. Secret deals, and a heartbreak no one saw coming. Tonight, we dive into the moment when everything shifted for Arionne Curry, when she finally broke her silence at 45. And the man she trusted most introduced a new woman and inflicted a wound that wouldn't heal. If you think it's just another celebrity fling, buckle up. This is betrayal, legacy, family in crisis, and a truth that demands to be heard. Arionne grew up ordinary, like many of us. Hopes, dreams, a stable life, and a fierce belief that love would see her through. A boutique owner. A mother. A woman who believed in doing things the right way. Then came the door opening into a world she never meant to enter. The red strings pulled her in so subtly that by the time she realized what was happening, the damage was already done. She met Martell Holt at a barbecue, a friendly introduction. He was charismatic, confident, and looked like he had it all. She was young. She was flattered. And above all, she believed in the possibility of something genuine. But what she didn't know was that his something genuine had a foot already in two worlds, one public, one hidden. She discovered the truth only 9 months in. He was married. She kept that hidden in her heart. Why didn't she walk away? Because love doesn't always come with clean lines. It came with confusion, rationalizations, guilt, tenderness. And when she finally said to herself, "I can't stay like this," it was already too late. Their relationship had built momentum. A child was on the way. A secret son. The whispers began. The angles changed. And the world she thought she knew turned upside down. She realized that while she was loving him, he was living 2 different lives. One in the daylight with his wife, one in the shadows with her. And she paid the price. But here's the twist. The world already knew of Melody, the beautiful, accomplished wife of Martell. The power couple everyone admired. They've built businesses together. They sold an image, loyalty, legacy, family. In public, everything seemed intact. But behind closed doors, cracks were forming. Martell's eyes wandered. Arionne's presence lingered. The affair was like a slow drip of water wearing down trust. When the news broke that Arionne was pregnant and Martell still hadn't committed fully, the implosion began. Melody filed for divorce. Reality TV cameras rolled. Headlines exploded. And Arionne, the woman who believed she'd found her place, suddenly became the other woman, the side story. The name uttered in accents of shame rather than compassion. She watched as her son became a symbol of the mess. His name changed, contested, his existence dissected in public. She realized the narrative was already written. Martell was the guilty husband. Melody, the wronged wife. Arionne, the villain. But what nobody expected was that she was more than that label. That she had thoughts, pain, regret. The main story unfolds in waves of betrayal, manipulation, exposure. At first it was the secret messages, mails, Instagram stories, cryptic posts. Arionne posted a screenshot of an email. "I hope your 3 daughters never meet a man like you," she wrote. Directed at him, bossip.com. She revealed how he had kept her under the radar while flaunting someone else publicly. She exposed the painful moment when he introduced a new woman. The humiliation didn't end when the affair was revealed. That was just the beginning. Martell, for his part, painted a picture of regret. He admitted his mistakes. He said he was changing. In one interview, he called Arionne a good girl, very smart, great parent, sportskeeda. But the damage had been done. The woman he once pursued was now calling him out, demanding respect. She charged that she had been used, that he had manipulated her while maintaining his legacy with his wife. She spoke of being 24 when they met. A younger woman who believed in his promises. "Within those 9 months, I found out he was married," she admitted. Showbiz Chi-Chi +1, the same man told her to change their son's name. She refused. She watched him claim another woman, another future, while she picked up the pieces of theirs. What nobody expected was the public fight over their son's name. Martell insisted his son was Maverick. Arionne insisted his name was Knox. BOSSIP.com+1. That fight wasn't just semantics, it was about identity, legitimacy, a mother's right to defend her child. While Martell introduced someone else, she stood in the shadows, wondering how she'd ever been fooled into believing in their shared dream. Then came the social media explosion. Arionne went on a tear. "Ladies never have a baby by a married man. Let me be your example," she posted. Ice cream conversations +1, and the internet ate it up. The labels, the commentary, the moralizing. But her story wasn't simple. It was about a woman who thought she was negotiating love and found herself negotiating damage control. She watched Martell live his brand while she lived the side effects. When Martell went public with Cherie Whitfield, Arionne was watching. This wasn't just the end of secrecy. It was the show on tell of how she was cast aside. "I was loyal to you. You went and got an old B***********. She posted theshaderoom.com. The new relationship became the ultimate final chapter in her ordeal. It was the full stop on the sentence she'd been living in. The man who promised one future was now showing another. The audience changed sides. She was no longer just the side piece, she was the side piece who watched the next chapter premiere. What hurt wasn't just that he moved on. It was how he moved on, publicly, unashamedly, while she remained the ghost in his past. And the cameras never turned off. The reality show continued. The reunion episodes dug deeper. She watched as producers used her image, used her drama to fuel ratings, while she remained voiceless. She said, "If I'm not on there to speak for myself, I'd like for you all to stop using my likeness." Ice Cream Conversations, the name she craved, disappeared into a storyline. She was the villain, the detour, the cautionary tale, and the world watched. Meanwhile, his empire with his ex-wife crumbled, their joint businesses dissolved, and the family they built fragmented. Martell's 4 children with Melody were still his children, and now a 5th child with Arionne was thrown into the mix. Custody battles, public shaming, the endless commentary. All of this layered on a young mother who believed she had a future. A woman whose voice was hidden, whose story manipulated. She lost more than a partner. She lost trust, narrative control, dignity. And when the world applauded the new couple walking hand in hand, she was walking alone through the wreckage. She questioned everything, her choices, his promises, the very idea of love. Then came the crescendo, the moment of exposure. The leaks, the posts, the cameras, the tears. Arionne broke. She stood in her grief and anger and said, "I'm done with you." Ice Cream Conversations, she no longer wanted to pretend the facade was real. She no longer wanted to be the hidden chapter in his story. And it was raw. It was messy. It was public. And she realized that the reputation she once believed she had a respectable mother, smart woman, future partner was redefined by others. Mistress, sidekick, footnote. It's the kind of sting that doesn't fade with time. It's the kind of wound that opens every time you scroll your feed and see him championing someone else. And then you wonder what becomes of a woman when the man she loved chooses someone new, someone cleaner, someone supposedly better. The cameras capture the newer woman's entrance. The social pages cheer. The narrative switches. Arionne watches and thinks, who gets to decide what my part in this story is? And more importantly, who decides what I walk away with? Because the damage isn't just to her heart. It's to her standing, her voice, her identity. This is where the emotional impact lands. Imagine being betrayed not just by your partner, but by the story you thought was yours. She held hope for this man. She hoped they'd build something, raise a son, move forward. Instead, she got a public divorce, a name fight, a new woman announcement, and the world saying she was the problem. Her mother's heart bruised. Her professional life tainted by association. Her social life reduced to comments and assumptions. She once believed in love's promise and found only negotiations. She once believed in her value and found she'd been valued less than his brand. Her son, his name debated. his future overshadowed by his father's headlines. She carries the weight of being the cautionary tale, and on top of that, she's still the mother trying to protect her child from the fallout. She wonders how you rebuild when your foundation wasn't built on truth. She watches him, the man who once said she was very smart and great parent, still building, still publicizing, still moving. And she's forced to ask, did he ever mean it? Or was it mere words to keep me close while he planned his next chapter? The legacy of this hurt stretches into her family, her friendships, She's had to fight for her right to exist beyond this scandal. She's had to fight to reclaim her story. And every time the cameras pan back to that couple, every time someone says, level up, she knows they're talking about him, not about her. And she realizes the hardest fight wasn't winning him. It was winning her own self-respect. The hardest fight wasn't leaving him. It was leaving the version of herself that believed she was enough for him. And in that fight, she uncovered something deeper. Healing isn't about winning back what you thought you had. It's about learning you deserved.